All right. So I am coming back with something I haven't done before, which is just analyzing collegiate gameplay in League of Legends. You can see here that it is Montevallo. This is like the viewpoint of Montevallo. So I'll be focusing on them throughout this whole video. It's going to be Montevallo versus the University of North Georgia. Um, just trying to walk through the gameplay, see where things went wrong, what went right, that whatever comes to mind. Don't really have any qualifications for it. I just figured it'd be fun.
Okay,
I like
so
analyzing things,
yeah,
and that's the commentary is a little bit louder than I thought it was going to be. Um, but yeah, uh, I don't really have qualifications. I just like strategy and breakdowns and VOD reviews. So we're here. Um, but yeah, just the first thing I can see, I I wasn't part of the pick and ban. I can't watch the pick and ban phase, so I didn't get to see the order of which things happened. Um, but I can say that really they drafted a losing lane in every matchup. um, I've already watched this game, so I kind of know what's going to happen. But Darius is only going to have a limited time where he's actually able to do anything with the Ornn. He's on a ticking clock that they don't really manage well. Um, but they have a very hard engaged comp on a team that is very meta, very easy front to back comp that would love to just kite back and let them walk into all of their damage, all of their CC. Um, and Darius takes some good trades early. I mean, that one was a little bit rough, but I know there's one that comes a little bit later that's better. Um, but here, this is the first moment where Zach comes in. I'm pretty sure he's aware of the Wukong behind him. Let's see. So yeah, so Zach jumps in right before Wukong gets there, but the team is nowhere near him and isn't able to follow up on any sort of damage, making a very easy follow-up gank for the Wukong. So I don't know if that was miscommunication or he just had a plan. I'm going to gank bot and didn't really think through like the logistics of it. But yeah, not a great first gank attempt. But yeah, like I said, Darius pulls some nice moves here early on, and I think the Zach would have better spent his time ganking top lane and making sure that they get the Darius fed and ahead early. Unfortunately, that's just not what happens. And he keeps on pushing the lane out into the turret with these trades. And so it doesn't really leave a whole lot of room for the Zac to actually gank and help out. But you can see that their bot lane, the enemy bot lane, is already roaming, looking for. Sorry, their support is roaming, I should say. Looking for pick opportunities, making sure the Wukong can get the crab safely and set up for the Rift Herald here in a few minutes. Just kind of watch Zac's pathing. They're making a lot of preemptive plays. And you can see blue side actually has the bot area warded up decently well. Part of that's the minions from Maokai, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to provide them any actual information that they're going to be able to use effectively. But yeah, in my opinion, though, this game was lost in the draft itself. I think the other team is already just mechanically more skilled than the Montevallo team. So winning draft would be really the only thing to give them a fighting chance. And that may not the only thing, they just had to play their best. And I don't know. I just don't think that happens here. But yeah, we got depressed panda here, just tossing his little minions around. I think the Maokai support was just not a great option either. I think going against the Varus Ashe bot lane, I probably would have preferred seeing maybe a Karma or a Lux, something that can match the poke. That, or maybe a Nautilus that has, just a hard engage and can tank up the damage that's going to be coming from both Varus and Ashe. Either way, Maokai was not it for me. And I think we see another gank attempt here in a second. Yeah, so Zach's coming around into the bush here. But the problem with this play that's coming up, I can already tell you, the Maokai is telegraphing their plans heavily. They still come away with the kill, which is good. They're lucky to have gotten that. I think Ashe could have used her flash or something to get away. Not sure why they held on to it in that situation. But Maokai and Kate have been playing passive the entire time. And then suddenly he just starts walking towards the enemy team. Any experienced player is going to know something's up. We had that Barnacle Boy going in to at least make it a 1-for-1. And now we have a 1-for-2. But this play right here from the Zach, I don't understand the logic. The fight is lost. There's no reason to jump in on your own with a completely out of mana Vex that can't use her ult anymore because she already is up to secure the Varus kill, or not the Varus kill, the Ashe kill. It's like there was no follow-up damage. Zach isn't going to be able to solo anybody in the team, but he was in the midst of 3 people. Really should have counted the losses and just backed off, because at the very least the dragon wasn't taken. So you might have lost the fight, but at least you didn't lose the objective off of it. No reason to feed over another kill in that situation and blow an important passive. Probably one of the most important ones that they have within the team. Not sure what's happening here. I forgot. Oh, okay, we're back. So yeah. Yeah, you can see the problem with the Vex here. They're not necessarily playing bad or anything like that. It's just they're really not going to have any kill pressure on the Orianna. Anytime they try to dive in with the ult, Orianna can just shield themselves and then ulti the Vex in return. So not really looking good there. Yeah, also I don't know why Kate's walking up into that. Just giving them free poke while the Maokai is off, I think, warding the Tribe Rush. Yeah, haven't seen Vex in any pro play, so I don't really know what she's truly capable of, but now you just get the Wukong that was just 1v2ing here. They managed to pull away. This is exactly what I'm talking about right here. Orianna has so many options between the Ornn and the Wukong to put the orb on and just get like an incredible easy ult. Now let's just go back and look at that a little bit closer. Alright. Yeah, so good roam from the Vex, and a good collapse from the Zac and Darius to try to take care of the Rift Herald take. They're a little bit too slow on that. Yeah, they get the pick, but then here's the problem here, is incredible ball placement from the Orianna for an easy wipe. So they end up trading 1 for 2 and lose the Rift Herald. And part of that can be because the lack of vision here. You have the Rift Herald's up, and there's not a single ward in either section of the topside jungle or the river. Maybe Orion is covering up one. No, covering up one of their own team's wards. So yeah, no vision. So I mean, they're quite honestly lucky that they even caught Wukong doing the Rift Herald in that situation. Now Maokai's left to fend for himself. Zach nearly blows his passive there just to try to clear a wave. Which is why I think, teleport, the TP top lane is just superior to the ghost pick here. They could have prevented the time out of lane or helped them, I don't know, make some plays bot where they clearly need some help. See. But yeah, what else? I do find it interesting that both ADCs brought cleanse. I don't really know why the Varus brought cleanse at all. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like maybe for the fear, but I don't know. Feels like a wasted summoner spell to me. Kate, I can kind of get it with the Ashe ult, but that's really the only CC that she's gonna cleanse. I think I'd rather just bring heal and rely on my positioning. Also, Maokai Ignite, not a fan of that either. Bringing Exhaust to a team that's trying to kite backwards and disengage from your comp, I think would have been much better option here. One thing I wish I could talk about is creep score here and itemization, but unfortunately, the person that's hosting this event, I guess you could say, doesn't ever display it. I don't get to see the kill score between the lanes, and I don't get to see the creep score, the itemization. And I'm also interested in what Kate is leveling up. Obviously, she's probably going to go for the Q first, but I don't think she goes trap second. Which I think is a mistake, especially against Wukong. There's a nice little Ashe ult, wasted Maokai ult. I mean, you can't engage and hope to actually do anything with that. There's a lot of fighting going on here. Let's see. Did I go back too far? Or let's kind of look at that again. I think I went back a little. Oh, here we go. So yeah, it's like Kate's not gonna be able to do anything against two full health people. The Vex gets a good kill on the Orianna here with the assistance of Zac, but then of course immediately trades one back. And Wukong is just fed out of his mind here, so once the Vex goes down, Zac has no hope. But you can see that there's a theme where they get a kill, trade two back every single time. And this makes it a really rough match for them. So I realized at 12 minutes in, yeah, we still have all the turrets up. And I don't think much plating has been taken on either side. There's not much to talk about here. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat at the bottom for when they purchase items, so I can kind of see when everybody gets kind of important stuff. And I think, if I have to guess, Darius went Trinity Force. And with him falling a level behind here, I just don't think it's a great idea. But you do have a nice gank from Zac here. The lane is kind of pushing against Darius. Nice little cleanup, but then Maokai once again getting caught out of position. Kate's not even in lane, and he's I guess, warding over the wall for dragon. There's safer ways to do that. But yeah. Gets caught here, is going to lose his wards. And then just a nice gank from mid lane from Wukong. Finishes off the Vex. So they got the support, they got the mid. There goes that ward that he died for. And now they're handing over free dragon. Which they did take the first dragon. I didn't point that out. They did take the first dragon and got that under their belt. So there's no early dragon soul like being risked here. So that is a highlight. There's the cleanse for the Ashe ult. Possibly saved her life. I guess she brought cleanse for the Varus ult as well too. Oh, that was one that hit or not. Sorry, the skins make everything look different. But yeah. She's cleanse for the Varus ult. Either way. The cleanse, maybe not a bad idea for the Kate, but the Varus still doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That completely whiffed. Maokai ult. I don't think I've seen him actually W into somebody this whole game. Because he can't get to him. Like, Ashe just slows him down, can stun him up. He's not tanky enough to withstand the damage that they can put out. If you can't tell, I don't like the Maokai pick. I don't know what it brought to the team. Like, Maokai jungle, excellent right now. Maokai support, just give me somebody else, please. You can see the enemy team knows Roof Terrell's alive. They're clearing out vision, putting their own vision down. Trying to deal with Darius. Can't remember if they actually kill him. Why is he fighting this? Okay, he gets away with the flash, but the flash and the ghost, actually. So expends both summoners when he could have just, I don't know, backed off sooner instead of trying to go for that Q. What's the elo usually for these players? I believe the enemy team is somewhere around Platinum and Diamond. As far as I'm aware, the Montevallo team sits around Gold. So that's one of the reasons why I was talking about the draft so much, is because, like, obviously, either A, there's a major skill difference there, or B, and I'm holding it 1 to 2 for some reason, they just don't play nearly the same amount of ranked gameplay. So, like, the enemy team starts with an advantage, but then they draft a completely losing lane, and everywhere, setting them further behind before the game has even started. So it's rough, and I don't know what the Maokai was attempting. See, actually, sorry, I'm gonna harp on this Maokai a bit. All right, so we got Kate coming back from spawn, Darius going top, Vex is here, but Vex is here and Zach is, I don't know, looks like he's either setting some wards or looking to jump, but what was that ult? And see, this was actually a pretty decent engage. The problem is the Wukong, and they have to know that he's nearby, right? Let's see where he paths, actually. So here's that Maokai ult, they know he's there. So Orange off to the side, just waiting. They have to have seen, because that was within vision. And then they would just come in and clean house. So once again, trading 1 for 2. Actually, oh no, they got 2 kills from it. But they got 3 in return. And then, yeah, the Kate traps just kind of scattered amongst the lane. Makes me think she's not utilizing them the way she should. But either way, engaging when you have your top laner farming without CP, and then Kate coming back from base, not the best call. Like, I get that they might have been trying to save the mid turret, but but also they didn't have vision on the Ornn or Wukong. Um, Knowing that they're missing from lanes, you gotta kind of have to play safe there. Sorry, I feel like I'm saying a lot of negative things about the team. Um, Also, I love the design of Vex. I will have to say that, but I know that's not anything positive about the team. But you saw the gank earlier with Zac and Darius in the top lane and how they took Ornn down relatively quickly there and worked well together. That should have been done like during the whole game. To get Darius ahead. I think he was their win condition, in my opinion. But also, sorry. I want to go back. Okay, yeah, so Wukong is building Chempunk. I mean, maybe if Caitlyn's going lifesteal, which I don't think she is, but the Darius, like, ultimately reducing his healing is going to be negligible. So yeah, they got some good pings here, so they know that something's going on here, the Rift Herald, which is good. I'm glad they at least have some eyes on that. Once again, wasted Maokai ult though. Like, I don't, because they would, if they caught the back line, they would have had to still walk up to them to be able to finish that off. Just sorry. So he's trying to get to the pit. BSC, like, it's so slow. They're already over there, and there's no way that anybody can get to it. But then the next problem here is that he's still by himself. Kate tries to fire. She fires in the wrong direction to disengage, but her tank line is already long gone. She needed to have walked away, not fired a shot, and just, you got to give the Rift Herald at that point. So they're 7k gold down. The fights are just not going to go their way currently. It's like after the initial engage didn't work, it's just back off, count the losses. Yeah, surprisingly, Maokai is only a level down on the Ashe, but he's trying to play like a frontline tank, but you can see the health bar there shows he's nowhere near that. And they're giving the dragon for free at this point. Like, Wukong, it wasn't even in the pit there for a second. Let me look at something. So no wards there. It's kind of tough to see with it paused, but... And I'm over the minimap. I just realized that. My face is over the minimap. Yeah, they have one in the brush near the raptors. And then... Yeah, that's... Oh, and one in the bush near mid lane. Yeah, so vision... Vision is something that needs to be worked on, especially with the enemy team so far ahead. They need to be warding up everywhere in the jungle so that they know that they can actually walk safely throughout it. And the saplings are assisting in that. But yeah, the only assistance he's offering is the saplings. So I'm glad I brought up the vision. With no wards, they have no idea this is happening. The only reason I think Maokai is even traveling over there is maybe to see why they're all missing. But then this here is just... I talked to somebody on their team about this particular play earlier, and they were saying that the Maokai wanted to go in because he ulted the entire team, but the objective was already gone. They hadn't even lost much health from it, taking it. So Yep, looking at some league. Um, yeah, but like, sorry, something popped up in the chat, so I lost my train of thought. Um, yeah, it's just the objective was already gone. They were pretty much full health. You can't just try to take a fight, especially when the whole team wasn't there and ready. Which actually, yeah, let me pull that back up. I know I keep on going back on these. Okay. So yeah, the Kate. I mean, the Kate's currently in bot lane, traveling up there. So they're trying to fight a 4v5. And yeah, when you're almost 10k gold down, you can't be trying to pull and engage in a 4v5. Like, get that she's pushing out the lane. Y'all didn't know what's going on because there was no vision happening. Yeah, also, yeah, so Kate's here by herself. Not a single trap has been laid anywhere across the lane. Not a single one. So nothing to protect herself, nothing to protect the turret. No, there's a trap. There's one trap on the ground, and a second one next to the turret for some reason. Man, I wish I knew. I wish I knew what she was maxing second. I just. Because I think it was the net, and she should have gone traps. It just made a line all the way across. Is Maokai going damage? I'm sorry, like, because if that's the only thing that happened to Orianna, Maokai has to be going damage rather than tank. Which, yeah, and I know I was going to keep an eye on the chat to see, just to see what they were gonna buy and everything, but at least to point out the bounties. Yeah, I haven't been paying so much about the Maokai is buying, but they are pointing out who's got bounties on them. You got a couple of objective bounties up. It could help them out. And honestly, they're only 3 turrets down 23 minutes in the game with the team that is far ahead and has Baron buff. It could be worse. But once again, just not a great gauge here. Like, they burned a few ults. The Varus ult, Wukong, and the Ashe all wasted theirs. But they also got nothing from theirs. They basically just made them back off, and I guess they got a summoner as well from Varus. But they need to be engaging as a full team at this point. Yeah, and then you got Dragon up soon. Once again, no vision, but the enemy team is already rotating towards it. And they really didn't take much with their Baron. No, here they go. I guess the buff is gone, but they're at least rotating to take that bot turret. Yeah, but Montevallo looks a little lost here. If I'm gonna be honest, just kind of roaming between the lanes, not really sure what they're supposed to be doing. Maokai doesn't need to be babysitting the Caitlyn. He needs to be going and warding everywhere. But here, you get the dragon off spawn. They're right there, ready to take it. Montevallo is just starting to move. And once again, without their full team, so attempted steal here. If you're not going to bring your full team to that, just don't go for the steal. It's not sole point. So yeah, they got to get shut down, and this here is actually a pretty good fight. The Vex playing their role really well. The unfortunate part is that they get split. Darius is backing off. Decided he had enough of that fight. And the Caitlyn does no damage. I don't know why she walked that direction. It's not like it's gonna prevent anything. And tries to pull the Ornn into the team. Oh. I forgot there was a disconnect here. But yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so I missed some stuff. But yeah, I don't like the Darius pick, but I think they could have played around it a little bit better. But you can see, like, throughout the whole game, he uses his dunk on targets that are not at executable range. So he doesn't get his resets. But, I mean, really at this point, the usefulness is kind of gone. So I see the Wukong actually did Black Cleaver, which I think is better than the Kim Tech. I mean, that Wukong was just playing with him the whole game. Thanks for the lyric, I appreciate it. Just toying with him. Yeah, was the Maokai coming back from base at this point? I can't remember. Yeah, so the Maokai is coming back from base as they're trying to stop the Baron. Which was because he died earlier and just respawned. Sorry, I'm skipping around a bunch. Yeah, so he just died. That's why they're going to Baron to trade support for support. Honestly, just an easy take here. Yeah, was that a recall attempt there? Sorry. He took some damage. Oh no, just got unlucky with the CC. Okay. And the Parasol looked like a recall for a second. Yeah, Maokai's still just wandering on back, trying to get back to his team. But unfortunately, the Ash Arrow is just a million times better than anything he can offer at that point. Because if she hits anything from that range, they're stunned for basically a year at that point, you know? And there we go. Zach is down again. No passive. Because it's been popped earlier. And just a nice easy Baron take. With nothing but a Maokai to try to stop it. Also, I love that Ashe skin. Really, all the Orianna skin is pretty awesome. No need to compliment the Wukong one. Everybody knows that one's great. Yeah. What are we looking at here? 14,000 gold down. Don't remember how much longer this game goes on, but they do have, looks like, one ward down currently. Which I meant to, like, preface this video saying that, like, I'm just going to speak my mind. It might be, yeah, see, the dunk was early there, so no reset. Goes on cooldown. And then he's charging in without his team, forcing them into a nice, tight little spot for Wukong. So yeah, they just can clean house here. But But yeah, I meant to say I was going to speak my mind. I don't mean any offense by this. I'm just going to say what I see, and hopefully it can be used for educational purposes. Um, you know, it's Sunfire Aegis. Oh, fire. Sorry. Yeah, Sunfire is just not the play 30 minutes in the game, but you have Last Whisper coming in to help with the tanks. So Caitlyn hopefully do some more damage at this point. But yeah, whether the Montevallo team can use this as a way to learn, or I don't know, somebody else that happens to run across this video, hopefully it's educational in some way. And I'm sure there's people that can break this down a lot better than I can. But I mean, the collegiate scene, I don't think gets a lot of love, especially this is the like the Peach Belt conference. So I don't think it's going to get a whole lot of views, a whole lot of commentary. But just giving it my best, see what I can talk about. Honestly, it's been a treat watching this Wukong. Like, they know the Wukong pretty well, and then yeah, just absolutely caught out. No vision in bot side jungle to warn of anybody coming their way. Barely any in top side, but it's towards the top lane. So nothing to give them any indication what's happening around mid. But a good kill on the Orianna. I mean, at this point, it's definitely too little too late. I mean, the game's over. Secondaries can come back and watch the Nexus die. But yeah. It's a tough game, and I know their esports program is still in its infancy a little bit. I don't know what the practices and coaching staff and everything look like, but there's certainly a lot to improve on, and hopefully they can accomplish that and have some good games. I'll be probably keeping an eye out, making more of these videos. There is a second game that happens here later that I won't be covering tonight. But I mean, there's more highlights there, but then also some major misplays from the bot lane. And I think I don't know, talked about them enough. But I mean, the set does pretty well against the Kled, even though I don't really like that at all. Like, I just hate Kled. But the Veigar, I just wish I knew like what order they were picking stuff in the draft. Because if they blind pick Veigar and the Galio is the answer, I mean, kudos to the other team for just making Veigar miserable. But I like the bot lane set up a little bit better here. But against Misfortune and Annie, it's not great. But I don't know. I feel like they could use some coaching as far as the draft is concerned. I don't know what their like champion pools look like or anything. It could be that they're limited, or they just don't enjoy playing like some of the more meta picks or stuff that like works well together. Not that their first comp didn't have the potential to work well together. It just wasn't great against what the enemy was picking. So like not only do you have to go in with a game plan of like what you want to do, but also a backup according to how the enemy is picking against what you set up. Um, so I don't know. We'll see the next game, see what happens. But it was at least entertaining to kind of see local school of mine play and let's see what they're bringing to the table. So yeah, let me know what y'all think. Anything I missed, anything I should have shut up about. Maybe I don't know what I'm saying. Um, or if you have, I don't know, your own videos that you want to, like you want me to look at and analyze, definitely just let me know. I'm totally down for it. But I am gonna stop there on this one and move on to actual gameplay.